What's up, everybody? Welcome to JB's RCs. JB here. Got the dually out again. If you guys aren't sick of this yet, I hope. I love this truck. Just the look of it, it's awesome. Not to mention that it's quite the performer. So if you haven't been paying attention, a couple days ago I posted a video of this towing a trailer with another RC on it. And then yesterday, I believe, I posted a video of it mud and water. Doing a little mud bogging and water floating. And now we're doing a video of it crawling. And it does a fantastic job with these dually tires on there. They're plastic rims, so there's not a lot of extra weight added. The body is probably lighter than the body that's on it because the one that came with it had a cage on the back, so that was probably heavier. So this truck actually might be lighter now than it was stock. Or about the same weight, maybe. But the thing performs great. Those tires that are on there are super soft foams on them. They're the Proline Mickey Thompson Baja MTZs on the Proline carbide dually wheels. And they fit perfectly. I didn't have to trim anything. You can hear there's no rubbing going on there. So I'm just really pleased with this. And the look, that dually look, the blue color. I did some chrome mirrors on it and some chrome bumpers. A little chrome around the windows and windshield just to give it a little flair. I got some windshield wipers coming that I'm going to do chrome on it as well. I might even throw a little chrome on those rims possibly at some point. We'll see. Here we are also with the Coyote from Charisma. So Ian's driving this bad boy. This was my truck. I really was not happy with it. I got it for the body back in the day when I was first buying stuff for crawling, and I didn't realize anything at the time, so I get it, and the servo is on the axle, which I don't like. The axles are huge, so they're not very scale, especially with the 155 tires that it came with stock. The chassis was very flimsy. ESC is quite touchy, so it really just wasn't what I was looking for. I did a bunch of upgrades to it and modified some things, and still wasn't where I wanted it to be, and it was just kind of annoying me, so I said, Ian, if you want this, take it. And he said, okay. So that's his truck now. That's him driving the Charisma Coyote in the background there. And then I'm driving the dually. But that Charisma seemed to do pretty good. I mean, made it up every line this thing made it up. It does have some Duratrax Showdowns on it, I believe. Oh, I'm sorry. The Duratrax Deep Woods on there and some plastic B-box. Metal steering and relocated battery to the front. And chassis bracing on the body posts front and rear. The chassis a little stiffer, so I dropped the body way down and took the front and rear bumpers off and just left the sliders on the side. So it does have a little bit lower center of gravity with the body drop down there, but Ian loves it, and I hope he does some stuff with it. He's been talking about doing some stuff with the body and putting it on different RCs as well of his, so glad somebody's going to get some use out of it and not be frustrated with it like I was. Oh, also the remote of the Charisma. The steering dual rate is on the handle where your thumb rests. So half the time you're driving it, all of a sudden the steering stops working, and you're like, why is the steering not working? It's because you rub the little button. It's a roller button. It's not a switch or a turn knob. It's a little roller that just barely sticks out. And you've just hit it enough times with your thumb that you've turned the dual rate all the way down. So there's no steering at all. I thought I broke it for weeks before I figured that out. I thought a friend of mine broke it for weeks before I realized I put a new servo in there and it still didn't work. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, it's the ESC. And then I just happened to be looking at the remote one day and I saw that little knob down there. And I always have it turned all the way up. Like the most possible steering on my crawlers. So I never had touched it to turn it down. Not knowingly, anyways. So, another annoying thing about that Charisma. It is the V1, so I know the V2 is a little different. They've done some chassis stuff. They've moved the servo to the chassis. A few other things that they've done. Maybe they've stiffened it up, and maybe they fixed that remote. Who knows? I've seen a couple V2s that I really want to get, too. They have this Mitsubishi Pajero body one that I really would like, and I just don't like that chassis. One of my least favorites of all the ones that I've owned. Obviously, I gave that shit away. It was $300 plus all the upgrades I put on it. But other than that, anyways, this truck, the Remo Hobby with the dually body and those metal shocks. I did, if you noticed, the truck is riding a little bit off-sided. Before I went crawling with it, I had done the mudding and the towing of the trailer, and I didn't realize one of the spring caps popped off one of the shocks. So the right rear shock has no spring cap on it, so the spring itself was kind of just flopping around a little, so it was also making the truck ride a little sideways. And I'm sure it affected a little bit of the performance for this crawling, but not that much. So, I did notice later, and I actually found it and put it back on before we left, which was nice. And then when we drove back, it fell off again. So I'm probably gonna have to glue those on or something. Maybe just put a different set of shocks on, we'll see. I hope everybody's doing great out there. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know I've talked pretty much the entire video. I think it's just about over actually, so I hope you've enjoyed my talking as well, my crazy voice. And get out there and have some fun.